if they shoot someone on live television? Whose story is that? Is it ours or is it theirs?
I really want to say this is a fantastic movie. And I'm sure for both of you, you've read a lot of scripts. So you get handed this script, you see what's on the page, you see how good it is. How much did you actually pay to be in the movie?
More than I got paid.
I mean, for me, I read the script, but it was hard to tell from the script that, it's like going to have doc footage in it, and a lot of it is technical jargon, and, it's not easy to understand from the script that it's going to be this movie. What makes it easier is when you meet Tim, who is so compulsive about verisimilitude and down to the walkie or the shaver you're going to use and having the fax machine work, that I thought that was super important for this story, that's really about, trying to get the story straight.
This is also, for a lot of people, they won't realize that this was the first global event, watching the whole world watching a tragedy unfold live on TV. It really changed everything. Can you sort of talk a little bit about this moment in history and the implications of, what happened at that period?
You probably know more about it in terms of historically.
Well, it was like, I think the interesting thing when I think about this, they basically had a satellite that they had to share. It wasn't like now where we have, a sky that is filled with them. And they thought the best way to cover this thing was by pointing this live camera at it. And I think that opens a whole can of worms, right? I mean, they ask some of those questions in the movie, like what if someone is killed on television? What if the Palestinian terrorists are watching it on their television as the German police are climbing up the outside of the building? They seem like simple questions to us now, but they were so in it. They were just trying to find the best way to cover this. I think the thing that is maybe less obvious with this issue is that does that one camera that's a live camera pointed at the window 24/7 tell the story? Is that what the truth is? Is that the objective truth? And I would say it isn't, but I think it asks a lot of these sort of simple questions, this movie, that we need to be asking now in an age where we have cell phones and AI able to change images, but we also have police cam videos, right? And bystanders catching injustice and people being made to be accountable for it. So it's something that is very worth discussing.
Well, that's the thing. I think one of the real strengths of the film is what people can talk about after, because it talks about, the subjectivity of where the live camera is being cut to, and also the implications, the ethical implications of what can we show on TV? What should we show on TV? And you see it now with car chases. What should you anyway?
Yeah, no, it's a really huge question. And it's not one there's an answer. You can't reverse progress. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. So, but I do think it's asking a vital question about all those things you just listed. I don't really know.
No, just asking the question
Just asking
is
the
the
question.
thing.
That is the thing, and it's maybe about how we consume it, to what level we discern what we consume.
This is one of these projects where it's a movie, but it's based on very, very real events. And there's a lot of material out there for both of you to pull from, the real footage and all the different people that are still alive that you can talk to.
Yeah, the movie A Day in September, a fantastic documentary about this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but not from this point of view.
So I'm curious for both of you, because I would imagine before stepping on set for this, you are really giving it a lot of thought. Can you sort of take me through, for both of you, like your process for getting ready for this movie, because I can only imagine with this much research available, it changes what you can do as an actor.
So I have a friend that has covered the Olympics and also covers the NHL regularly. He's a cameraman, but he's able to show me, over the years, actually not even leading up to this, but over the years, because I'm just somebody who's always interested in stuff like that, I've always had some sort of window into it. There's a lot to read about and by Roone Arledge, and two chapters in one of his books about it. He had such a huge life, that this is really just one part of it. I mean, the guy went on to invent what I would call like the celebrity anchor person, right? Like he really brought entertainment into news, just as he brought reality into the Olympics, where we weren't just watching two random people play. We went into their lives and the life of the person who's losing too, and make the story. What is the story that is happening with this swim meet, for example, which is just guys swimming? Nobody wants to just watch that, right? Like so, but then he brought all of that into his future work. So it was a huge amount that I could learn about him that way. I don't really worry that much about like playing him in the kind of, like I have to have freckles like he did or something like that. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I came onto the movie later, so I had limited time. But it was this is also a limited amount of material about Marvin, but there was enough. I mean, I watched a tribute to him towards the end of his life, where people speaking about someone is really helpful.
That's a great idea.
Well,
Yeah.
It's kind of this is your life.
I should
that
have
was your
that.
That was your life.
You told me you did that. I would have.
Well, it wasn't.
Sure, there was one for Roone.
It wasn't an insightful, clever choice. It was kind of all there was.
Right.
And then Bob Iger said some really interesting things about him. And then just coincidentally, my girlfriend is her first boss. My girlfriend's first job was as a assistant to an agent for news anchors. And this was early days. This was the groundbreaking guy who became, thought of giving them agents and turn them into sort of celebrities in their own right. Her first boss is married to Al Berman, who was a CBS newsman producer who worked with Dan Rather a lot for years. And I had just when I was about to go to Munich, I had very little time. I had like an hour conversation. I've never met him. 45-minute conversation with him on the phone that was so helpful. And he came to the screening last night, and he found it very, very. He said it was scarily real. Like they just absolutely believed the broadcast aspect of it, the timing of the calls, cues, technically, the equipment. So, I mean, in that respect, so much work was done for us by production, design, and by Tim. He said compulsive. I mean, Tim was passionate, you could say obsessed with,
in a
detail.
way, yeah, if you messed something up, there would always be some, well, what you would actually have to do is you have to hit this first and wait, and then you can do the go thing. Okay. He wanted it to be
the depth,
really, 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 really detailed like that, yeah.
And that was noticed by, for example, Al Berman, who came.
Yeah, I felt like I was in the room with you guys. I have to go. I just want to say congrats. You guys did fantastic work.
Thank
you.
Have a fantastic day.